afternoon. Well, it's been a few days since Roger's most recent customization, the lowering kit. Managed to get the vlog out, and yeah, lots of questions came from that. So what I'm going to try and do today is address some of the questions that came up and some of the points, and try and explain some stuff. But as we know, I'm not very technical, so this could go either way. So here goes, with a little bit of a follow-up, with some trial and some error, and there was an error. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, one of the first things that was asked was about the side stand and the center stand. And is it now not more difficult to get it onto the center stand? And do I not have to shorten the side stand? So let's do that. So the side stand. Now I do not need to chop a section out of my side stand because I have the Hitchcock's adjustable side stand. There's a separate video of that install. So all we had to do was to shorten it slightly. So now he sits perfectly, as he did before, on the shortest setting, but on a bit more of a lean, so he's not quite so upright when I get off him. Yeah, so that's that one. No, I did not need to take a section out of my side stand. Okay, second point, the center stand. Is it more difficult to get it on the center stand now? Obviously he's closer to the ground, so I guess the pivot's going to be different. I don't know, let's try it. Well, I'm no expert, but that didn't seem to be that much harder. Maybe I had to put a little bit more welly into it. I'll be honest, I am physically quite strong. There's a fair amount of me, so I didn't struggle in the first place. I didn't really think that was any different, to be honest. So that's a win. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it again, just for good measure. No, I don't find that any different. So, center stand test passed. Okay, so something I did notice when I got back that we didn't think to check at the time, and probably should have done. Hindsight, it's a wonderful thing. So the chain. So as we know, when I had the new tyres fitted, I asked Bike Treads to adjust the chain for me because I noticed the chain was really slack, and they did that for me. Now what I noticed when I got home after the install of the links was that the chain was back to being really tight. However, I went to adjust it and I realised, after rotating the wheel a few times, what's clearly wrong is that I've got a tight spot. The chain is not new, and see, we're back to tight again now. So the chain is not new, and I obviously need a new chain. I've checked the sprockets. The sprockets are fine. There's no like uneven bits and pointy bits and stuff, so I can get away without replacing the rear sprocket. However, I think I probably need a new chain. Sad times. So the $64,000 million question. Why did I buy a bigger bike when I've only got little legs? Well, if you've seen my debate and my troubles trying to find a bike that was kind of adventure, didn't break the bank, I could muck around with, I wasn't going to get precious about, then this is why I landed up with Roger the Himalayan, and I do not regret that choice at all. He had 220 millimeters of ground clearance before we started. Technically we've dropped him 20, that's how much it says it does, so he's now got 200 millimeters of ground clearance. That's still pretty good for an adventure bike. Yes, I appreciate that's not fully loaded, that's not with me on board. However, as a standard ground clearance height, compare it to the CBX 500, the Honda. That has 180 millimeters of ground clearance. The V-Strom 750 has 170 millimeters of ground clearance. So at 200, we're still not bad. Would I change Roger? Absolutely not. No way. I love this bike. This has so much character. Absolutely not. Makes me smile every time. And that's part of the reason that I went with the Royal Enfield and Roger. And if I can adapt him just to be perfect for me, then by God, I'm going to do it. The elephant in the room. It's upside down. I thought we'd put them on the same way that they came off, but clearly not. Some lovely gentlemen very tactfully pointed out after watching the vlog that they have been installed upside down, and that actually this end should be, you can't see, this end should be up here and this end should be down here. So basically they've got to come off and be put back on again the right way up. Every day's a learning day. I'm a great believer in learning by mistakes, so that was a mistake and I'm going to learn from it. So they've got to come back off, be turned over and put back on again. All right, now the slightly tricky bit, and I'm probably going to get this wrong and you're all going to shout at me, but you know, hey, what the heck. So why didn't I lower the forks? Okay. So you don't have to lower the forks. Apparently it's better if you do. Now I guess it makes a difference as to how much you drop the back by, as to how much you should consider lowering the front by. So as far as I understand, when they manufacture the bike, they put it into like a neutral alignment. So the back and the front are balanced. If you start playing around and dropping the back, then technically you should also drop the front so that it's still in a neutral alignment. Has it made any difference? Apparently it can make a difference to the way it handles, the way it corners. I haven't noticed any difference yet. I will be prepared to admit that I'm wrong, and if I do notice that it's not handling as well, or I'm not happy, or if it's, I think the difference is that it might corner slower. If it's an issue, then I will be prepared to drop the forks that 20 mils and yeah, make it more neutral, but we'll see. Maybe the reason that I didn't actually notice any change is that at the same time we also changed the bars. So these bars were put on after I dropped the height. So we repositioned these to be comfortable for me. So maybe that made a difference. Don't know. I don't feel like I'm over stretching. There is some fettling I might do with these just to bring the back slightly, and I need to refit the bar ends so that I can put my guards back on. But I really like these bars. These are great. So maybe that made a difference to whether I noticed how it felt on corners. I don't know. I didn't ride it enough after the lowering it to be able to tell the difference, to be honest. So jury's out on that one. The long and the short of it is I didn't drop them. 20 mils. Maybe I should. I will be prepared to go back in and to do that if it becomes an issue on the cornering and the handling. Oh, just remembered, whilst I was like Googling and looking this up, apparently because you've actually lowered the bike and therefore lowered the centre of gravity, it can actually handle better on corners. So there's that. Okay, it looks like rain is going to stop play for the foreseeable in a bit. But last thing I just wanted to cover, how does it work? I'm still a little bit confused on this, but bear with. Okay, Here's the link. Now the link, let's argument's sake say was that length before, and the distance up here was much bigger. If we shorten that, which we did, then this gap here gets longer, so therefore we put a longer link in, and then when you drop the whole thing down, it's closer to the ground. Oh, I think it's raining. I think that kind of addresses all the issues that were raised in a kind of post follow-up. I'll let you know as I go on how we're getting on together, and whether or not I do need to go back to the controversial forks and drop that down a little bit, but time will tell. In the meantime, looks like I need to order a new chain, and I've got some exciting things to fit on here as well, but it's starting to hail or snow or something, so maybe another day. And there we have it. I hope that that's answered some of the and there we go. Thank you. Oh, hang on. And there we go. So that hopefully has answered some of the questions about the recent installation.
Go then!
Get down! She's trying to eat her dinner. So hopefully that has answered some of the questions that came about from the recent installation vlog. I did say it wasn't a how-to, it was probably more of a how not to, and we've learnt from our mistakes. So until next time, thank you for watching and stay safe. You can come up now.
Bye.